Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, the sanctuary where truth rises above tabloid noise and we give credit where it's due. I'm your host, Adrian, and today we're flipping the script on Melissa Rivers' recent comments with Kinsey Schofield, another desperate attempt to paint Meghan Markle as ungrateful and miscalculated in her royal journey. Well, buckle up, because this narrative needs a serious reset. Meghan Markle's journey has captured the world's attention. She stepped into a centuries-old institution with grace and a desire to serve, yet her path was not always smooth. The challenges she faced were significant. Many watched, wondering what she would do next. Her choices have inspired so many people globally. Leaving a life of perceived privilege is never easy. For Meghan, it meant stepping away from the British royal family. This was a decision not made lightly. It was a choice born out of necessity. A necessity to protect her family and her own well-being. Meghan chose authenticity over expectation. She chose peace over protocol. Her decision sent ripples across the globe. It sparked conversations about tradition, modernity and mental health. Meghan, alongside Prince Harry, embarked on a new chapter. They sought to create a life based on their own values. Meghan's actions speak volumes about her character. Her story is one of reclaiming her narrative. Despite the eventual difficulties, it's important to acknowledge Meghan's initial interactions. She reportedly developed a warm relationship with Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen, a figure of global respect, seemed to welcome Meghan. Their early joint engagements showed moments of shared smiles. These moments suggested a genuine connection. Meghan always spoke of the Queen with admiration. She highlighted the Queen's leadership and kindness towards her. Meghan embraced her initial royal duties with enthusiasm. She learned quickly and showed a keen interest in the Commonwealth. She accompanied the Queen on a significant trip to Cheshire. Images from that day showed them appearing comfortable together. The Queen was seen guiding her, a new member of the family. These interactions were positive signs. They offered hope for a smooth integration into royal life. Meghan seemed eager to honour the traditions. She also wanted to bring her own perspective to the role. Meghan's efforts to build relationships were clear. She understood the importance of family within the monarchy. Her respect for the institution's matriarch was always apparent. This foundation of respect makes the later challenges even more poignant. It highlights that the issues were not simply personal. The fairy tale narrative quickly began to crumble. Behind the palace walls, Meghan faced immense struggles. The institution, often referred to as the firm, failed to protect her. She endured a relentless barrage from segments of the British press. This coverage was often tinged with racist and sexist undertones. Meghan sought help from within the palace. She hoped for support and guidance. Sadly, this support did not materialize in the way she needed. The lack of protection was stark and deeply damaging. Meghan spoke of feeling isolated and unsupported. Her mental health suffered significantly under the strain. This was a cry for help from a vulnerable new mother. The institution's silence in the face of vicious attacks was deafening. It left Meghan exposed and alone. This failure to act had serious consequences. It pushed her to a point of crisis. Prince Harry, having witnessed his mother, Princess Diana's tragic experience, saw history repeating. He feared for his wife's safety and well-being. The institution's inability or unwillingness to shield Meghan was a critical factor. Rising above Meghan's truth against unfounded critiques. Critics like Melissa Rivers often misunderstand Meghan's actions. They suggest her departure was about seeking fame or disliking duty. This perspective misses the core issues. Meghan embraced her royal duties with dedication. She launched successful initiatives and connected with people. Her work on the Together Our Community cookbook was a triumph. It supported women affected by the Grenfell Tower fire. This showed her commitment to community and service. Critics often ignore the context of Meghan's struggles. They overlook the hostile media environment. They dismiss her pleas for help regarding her mental health. Meghan's decision was not impulsive. It was a carefully considered step to protect her family. She spoke her truth with courage, knowing it would invite further attacks. Refuting these criticisms is simple. Look at her actions. Look at her consistent advocacy for women and marginalized communities. Meghan's work has always focused on giving voice to the voiceless. Even before royalty, she was a UN women's advocate. She campaigned for gender equality and racial justice. These are not new passions adopted for show, they are deeply held convictions. To claim she shirked duty is to ignore her proactive approach. Beyond the balcony, forging a new path of purpose and impact. Freed from the constraints of traditional royal life, Meghan has truly flourished. She and Prince Harry established Archewell. This organisation allows them to pursue their passions authentically. They focus on compassionate action and systemic change. Meghan has used her platform to champion causes close to her heart. These include mental health awareness, gender equality and racial justice. Her voice is now clearer and more impactful than ever before. She is not just surviving, she is thriving. Her achievements since stepping back are numerous. She co-produced impactful docuseries with Netflix. These projects shed light on important social issues. They also shared their personal journey with honesty. Meghan launched her successful podcast, Archetypes. It explored and dismantled labels that try to hold women back. This project was widely acclaimed for its thoughtful conversations. It showed her dedication to creating meaningful content. Meghan's commitment to women's rights remains unwavering. She has spoken at global forums. She has written powerful essays on the need for equality. Her advocacy is not performative, it is deeply rooted in her experiences. She understands the challenges women face. She uses her influence to uplift and empower. Challenging tradition, the Sussexes, and a more modern monarchy. The royal family is an institution steeped in centuries of tradition. Many of these traditions feel outdated in the 21st century. Meghan and Harry's experience brought this into sharp focus. Their desire for a more modern, compassionate approach clashed with rigid protocols. The institution seemed resistant to meaningful change. It struggled to adapt to a biracial American woman joining its ranks. This highlighted inherent inflexibilities and, some would argue, injustices. The rules and expectations placed upon royal members can be stifling. There is often little room for individuality or personal expression. Meghan, with her independent spirit and established career, found this challenging. The expectation to conform, to remain silent on important issues, was difficult. This is not a criticism of tradition itself, it is a critique of tradition that becomes harmful or exclusionary. A healthy institution evolves, it adapts to the changing world around it. Meghan and Harry embody a new way forward. They represent a more progressive and inclusive vision. Their decision to step back was in part a rejection of outdated norms. Melissa says Meghan can't have everything. But let me ask this. What did Meghan really want? She wanted to do the work she loved. She wanted to use her voice. She wanted to raise her family in peace. She wanted protection from hate, not privilege at the expense of her sanity. That's not everything. That's basic human decency. Why is it that when a woman, especially a woman of colour, demands respect and fairness, she's labelled difficult or demanding? Meghan wasn't asking for the world. She was asking for room to breathe. And when she wasn't given that, she built a world of her own. That's not failure. That's liberation. Yes, Melissa, you got one thing right. Meghan is better off without them. She's thriving in California. She's building her brand, raising her kids in a loving, safe environment, and continuing the humanitarian work that drew the world to her in the first place. And let's not forget, Harry is better off too. He finally broke free from a toxic system that demanded his silence while weaponizing the press against his wife. If that's not bravery, I don't know what is. Together, Meghan and Harry are not some tragic royal footnote. They are the blueprint for a new way forward, one where love, truth and dignity take precedence over pomp and pageantry. So to Melissa Rivers and everyone else still preaching from the outdated pulpit of royal tradition, wake up. Meghan didn't waste her opportunity. She survived it, she transcended it, and she turned pain into power. That's not a failure, that's a legacy. Thanks for tuning in to Meghan and Harry Tales. If you loved this takedown, subscribe and share it with someone who's still stuck in 1952. I'm Adrian, and we speak truth here.